Craft Brews and Casual Conversations. Join with me on the couch, Uncle Brent. Not a big deal, but Uncle Brent, right?
Yes, absolutely. I had a hot take on this last time.
Creating some controversy.
Did create some controversy.
We're drinking peach wheat beers, dudes with brews on a porch. Dude. Hello, Brent.
Hello, Drew. Good to see you.
Thanks for calling me and making me do this.
Absolutely.
Got a lot of shit going on. A lot of things happening.
I was persistent though.
You were.
And
it was like they say when you apply for a job, you gotta keep pestering them. I'm just kidding. He didn't pester me at all. We'll talk about your hot take in a second, but we're gonna be drinking Wheach from O'Fallon Brewery, which is a smooth, clean wheat beer with a touch of peach.
Absolutely.
Wheach. Very, very creative. Where the fuck is this from? I don't know where it's from, but it's 5.1 ABV, 7 on the IBU. It's pretty low on the IBUs. When you look at it, it smells like bread.
It does.
There's
like the slightest peach smell to it.
But there's a strong peach taste
it like
to
a dog.
it. Give it a swig. It's actually pretty good. Pretty light in the colors. Kind of looks like apple juice.
Yeah.
Madison, you want to try some? Okay. She never. Did you sip beer when you were a kid?
Oh yeah. I
Do
was
you
all
like
about
this?
it. I do.
It's not very IPA. It's not an IPA because I know you don't like those.
Correct.
It's just your a fruit beer and a wheat beer. It's pretty good.
But I actually mostly drink wheat beers. I'm
Oh,
a
really?
big fan of Hefeweizens, and I'm pretty sure that's a wheat beer.
Sounds like it. And German people like that stuff. So
Why does it not say where this is from on the bottle?
let me take a look. It's got to be somewhere. St. Louis County. So this is from Missouri.
Okay.
Maryland Heights in Missouri.
Gotcha.
Which I don't know if we've had a Missouri beer before, but glad it's here. Pretty good stuff.
Yeah, I like it.
So what was so controversial? Did Craig get mad because you said being an uncle wasn't a big deal? Craig's gonna listen to this again, so watch what you say. No.
Yeah, he probably will, especially if I tell him. He'll be right on it. I just said there's a few things I said that were controversial.
Really?
Well, within the same subject, but I said
okay.
multiple things within that subject because, first of all, I'm pretty sure I just said pregnancy was not a miracle, which birth was not a miracle, which the reason I had that take is because it happens like tens of thousands of times every day, if not
Someone
more.
just gave birth right now.
Exactly. Wait,
So-
pause.
Baby.
Maybe 10.
Could be. Okay.
So, I mean, it's not like winning the lottery or anything.
I would agree.
That's a miracle.
Yeah, for sure. Winning that lottery.
Yeah.
I bought a Powerball ticket, didn't win. Didn't get a single number right.
That's not to say that I don't think birth is special.
It is special for the people, but it's not rare.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not.
Exactly.
It just happens all the time.
Correct.
So, what other hot takes you got? What can we do to stir things up to get some hate mail and things like that?
Well, the other hot take I had that related to pregnancy or birth was that I wasn't crazy stoked to be an uncle just because the first stages of it aren't that exciting.
And you didn't do any of the work.
Correct. Yeah, I just see the baby and I touch it, and yeah, it feels like a soft baby.
I miss having a baby sometimes because it's a lot easier than having like a crazy kid running around and always relating you to poop all the time.
Yeah.
My son, like, he just has this obsession with poop. I don't know. You do too?
Yeah. Right as you said that, McKenna actually looked at me with wide eyes. And
you like poop,
I
huh?
talk about poop all the time.
Like, as far as what?
I like how how it feels when the word
When you
poop comes out of your mouth. No, just like
when
saying
poop
the word
comes out of your
yeah,
mouth?
like poop.
Yeah, it's a solid word.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get called a turd a lot. I get called, a poopy face, poopy butt. A lot of words like that get thrown at me.
I found this song on Spotify the other day. I think it was called "Poop in My Fingernails," and all I did was search poop because I just was like,
"Yeah,
McKenna knows I talk about poop all the time. I'm gonna throw a song related to poop on the radio and see what she has to say because she didn't know it was coming. She said, "Here, pick out some music." So I did, and I searched poop, and the first song that popped up was "Poop Underneath My Fingernails." I believe it was
like
called.
Cardi B or something. I could feel like she's experienced that. She got a big caboose.
She does, yeah. True.
So
True, and I'm sure she has those stripper nails, those big
yeah,
stripper nails.
she used to be a stripper.
Yeah. She used to drug people, too. You see that?
She what?
She used to drug people. That was
What?
Yeah, it was big on the news.
You didn't know that.
Okay, so here we go. First topic.
Hot takes.
Yeah.
This is all about the hot takes. Controversial
Cardi
things.
B is like the
earmuffs.
the Bill Cosby of female rappers, I suppose.
And what did she... For, like, dudes? She would, like, take their money?
Yes, yeah. So when she was a stripper, someone dug up an old Instagram video of hers that was from like a couple years back that it's just basically her saying, this is what I had to do to make a living, and I had to take guys home from the strip club and drug them, and then I would have to rob them for their money. And she said this on a live Instagram video, and someone dug it up, and now it's a huge controversy right now because they're like, well, should we cancel Cardi B, as they say? Like, make her not a thing anymore?
Well,
because if a guy were to do that
right
to a female,
double standards right
exactly.
There's especially going on with like all the R. Kelly stuff.
Yep.
And then the Michael Jackson documentary, which I haven't watched. I'm kind of interested in watching.
I would like to see it as well.
But I mean, if you really think about it, this isn't new as far as the R. Kelly stuff. He's been to court before. Michael Jackson was tried twice, but I still played Thriller at every wedding that I DJ'd.
Exactly.
Actually, it was never really Thriller. It was The Way You Make Me Feel and Beat It. It was always good. Billie Jean sometimes.
Well,
man, my playlist was pretty Michael Jackson heavy.
The thing is no one had really made like a large scale professional documentary on it before,
right.
And there was just there was room for it, and I think you were talking about this on, it was either your last podcast or like 2 podcasts ago, where it's like, well, this is what the people want to hear.
I was going to bring that up. I was going to say, me and Rob were just recently talking about like true crime stuff as far as like murdering people disappearing. Are we part of the problem by getting so absorbed into it that they make documentaries about it? They profit off of these pretty heinous crimes.
Yeah.
So aren't we part of the problem if you think about it?
In a way, yeah.
Or is it's just because people are? You think it's because people are nosy? And they wanna...
Absolutely. Well, I mean, it's such a strange and unknown part of life because you're never going to get the inside details on this stuff unless these documentaries are made. So it's just
right.
It'd be like finding out that the Earth is flat or something. You'd be like, oh, well, I guess I never thought about it. I guess I should watch a documentary on it, and then you can decide for yourself whether or not this is true, or whether or not, say, murder is a good thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Rob had an interesting take on that, actually.
My problem with the podcast is I don't remember half the time what we say or what we talk about.
That's understandable. That's why I'm here, I guess.
Yeah, to refresh my memory.
I'm a listener where you're producing it, so
I guess
it's a little different. Because I'm fully immersed in the conversation as a listener, and I'm hearing both sides, whereas you're trying to come up with replies and other things while it's going on. But Rob was basically saying, but is murder a bad, like, what if someone murdered Ed Gein before he committed all of his crimes, or what's the other one? Ed Gein and it was
like John or Jeffrey Dahmer.
Jeffrey Dahmer, yeah. Which I understood where he was coming from, but at the same time, like, you're still taking someone's life away from them.
Well, Jeffrey Dahmer was pretty nuts.
Right.
Pretty. He did some weird things.
And but you don't know they were going to do that until it was done.
Do you? I mean, we talk about like the in some Strange Brew episodes, we talk about people getting murdered and stuff like that too. So we're part of the problem. Do you ever get what are you obsessed with that's unusual besides poop? Like, are you obsessed in true crime? A lot of people really dig the true crime. Or is there like a topic that...
True crime is very interesting to me, but I don't know.
How come you never hear like just people of like thefts? I want to hear people that got away with like stealing candy their whole life or something, and then one time they got busted. I want to see that documentary.
Exactly, yeah. The candy thief.
Have you ever stolen anything, Madison?
No.
Okay. I've stolen stuff before, Madison.
There will never be a documentary
stole hearts
about Madison.
Yeah, no, there won't be a documentary about Madison unless she's like win something. I don't know.
The lottery.
I don't know.
The lottery.
The lottery would be cool to win.
Yeah.
I'd be down with that. But yeah, I recently I go down like a lot of like Reddit rabbit holes where I hear about people disappearing. There's a podcast controversy or conspiracy that I've like recently have fallen into with like Joe Rogan, Tom Segura, and all of them. They won't. It's called Theogate. It's about Theo Von, who is a comedian.
Yep,
He's really
I know
funny.
Theo Von.
And if you're interested in it, it's just look up Theogate on Reddit. It's pretty. I've become obsessed with it, and it's really weird. Like I'm just super nosy. It has nothing to do with me. Has nothing to do with the reason why I listen to them as comedians or their podcasts. But I am absorbed, and it's just weird that people get so infatuated with shit like that.
Yeah, I actually just watched Theo Von on. I think it's either. I don't know if they changed the name to it to First We Feast or the Hot Ones.
Oh, Hot Ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It was a really good one, yeah. I think they upped the intensity level on the wings from when I first started watching, because I started watching that show when it first came out and they only had a couple episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And when I watch it now, these people's jaws are quivering and they're like literally delirious.
The last one they have is like 2 million plus on the Scoville level, which I think
It's like pouring acid in.
I had that chip that had the Reaper pepper on it, and that was about a couple million Scoville, and it was horrible.
Yeah.
And I would probably do it again.
I want to try it
for entertainment value.
I do too. I actually, so I'm not a huge fan of super hot stuff. There's a really sweet spot that I
just
like.
Just my women. Hey-o.
Yeah. There's a sweet spot that I can get into when it comes to hot stuff, and if I hit it just right, I'm like, I can't get enough. And it's just to the point where it's making me sweat and feels like it's like clearing me out a little bit.
I don't know why people, like what, besides just for like entertainment or just to say you did it, like what value? I don't think anybody enjoys incredibly hot food like that. I don't. Maybe.
Well, if it's too hot, it's
psycho.
Just, that's the thing. If it's too hot, there's no point because you don't even taste any of the other flavor.
Feel your mouth for the rest of your life.
You can't even taste the food after one bite.
Yeah. So, kind of going back to the kid thing, there was a topic that I wanted to discuss because it recently just happened again today before you came. You know, when you start a family and everything, you know what would be a miracle? If I could have one session in the bathroom without someone fucking walking in and interrupting my process.
Yes.
Because, you know...
Wait,
what's that?
Does that really happen?
Yes. Every time I'm in the bathroom, either brushing my teeth, you know, taking a shower or whatever, somebody has to walk in.
But I don't walk in.
I know you don't. You're good. You're fine. Thank you for allowing me to have privacy, but it's like Ashton one time he came in and I'm like, bro, like get out of here. And he's like, no. And then he just sat and stares at me and I'm like, dude, you know, I'm in the middle of something and I'm like, I can't I can just like get up and move him out of the bathroom. I'm like, you have just leave. Yeah. But then I feel like if I lock the door, that's when something bad's gonna happen, like, and it's gonna be like an emergency where, you know, I have to do the shuffle anyways, and it's like today, even Sierra walks in me in the bathroom, like, man, like I just leave me alone.
I have two things I want to say.
Okay.
First off, I just want to clear this up before I forget. Since it has been a few months, not a few months, couple months since we did my last.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So here's my current take on being an uncle. Real quick.
Update the uncle update. We'll have to get these from time to time.
And this is what I thought it would be, and I think I mentioned that once Sadie got a little older and more like.
And she's a cute kid. We're not bashing this child. Yeah. She's a very cute kid.
Yes.
Very happy for Craig and Kay.
I'm speaking in a general sense.
Right.
But now that she's more active and can make more facial expressions and kind of understand what you're doing when you make faces at her. Now, so at this point, this is where I enjoy being an uncle.
Right.
I just knew I wouldn't really...
Right away.
Yeah, right away. I just knew that I wasn't going to be anything extraordinary.
Well, you can't do any... Yeah, you can't really do anything fun with a little baby. Like, you have to worry about, like... Oh, I gotta make sure I have enough head support or whatever. You can't
exactly, and that's this.
You can't sneeze around the kid. You can't, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
And I definitely understand why it's. I don't like holding other people's babies when they're at that stage, like when they're newborn. Like I think I held Sadie. I've probably held Sadie. I've seen her twice only, I think.
Yeah.
And I probably have held her for no less than 5 minutes.
Okay.
I just
I hold her once in a while for. I mean, I don't like holding her for more than like 10 minutes at a time.
Right.
Just because it's at that point I'm thinking about what else I need to do in the day.
Yeah.
And I just can't relax for that long to do any. I can't even pet my dog for that long.
Yeah.
But
when my kids, like I was always like, it was weird. I would like hover over people when people were holding my kids.
yeah.
So I'm like, you know,
I would too if I
put
was
my baby down.
if I was a
I
dad.
like it.
If I was a dad, I'd be the same way. I'd be really protective.
And then, especially if your kids are born, like both my kids were born in November, and you get the family Christmas gathering where you have like all the extended family, and it's like they're passing the kid around like it's a fucking hot potato or something like that, and it's like, man, like where is my child? And then you get all like anxious and stuff like that. But yeah, I think about that too when I'm holding other people's kids. I'm like, I wonder how like anxious I'm making the mother and the father feel right now that I'm holding this baby.
Yeah, but if they like for Craig and Kay, they
Oh,
know
yeah.
they know you've been. I mean, you were a dad before,
In
far
high
before
school.
Craig was. Yeah,
Right.
So I think they have a little bit of added trust for you.
Well, yeah.
but
I'm
I
not
think
saying them. I'm
in
just saying,
maybe like a different situation.
Right.
with,
I just don't like to because I'm like, man, I don't know. And then they whimper and I'm like, all right, take your baby.
Yeah,
I've been through it. I don't
Yeah.
need to do it again. And
another thing too is when I limit the amount of time I have a baby in my hands, the less of a chance I'm gonna get spit up on, and I haven't yet, and I don't want to, and I think I would be like immediately just take it.
take this
I'm gonna go
child.
shower.
I'm not your uncle anymore.
yeah.
Yeah, I've been spit on, up on. I've been pooped on, peed on. I mean, I got the whole works.
Yeah.
You
See,
know, it's.
I just want to be the cool uncle, not the one that has to deal with all that.
Do you ever want kids at some point in your life?
I honestly don't think so.
No.
I've thought about it many, many, many times.
Yeah.
And
There's a lot to be said about that.
all roads have led to me just thinking that
You can just
no.
babysit sometimes.
Exactly. I don't think it'd fit in my life, and I think I would have a lot of like, it'd be very mentally stressful on me, and I just think I would break down and think about everything way too much, and just it'd be always something on my mind. But
yeah, I understand that. And it's so weird, like anytime you're in a relationship or whatever, like, you know, things get serious or you get engaged, you get married. So when the little ones come in, and it's like, well, how about you just let the people live
exactly
for a little bit, make their own choices.
And I'm if anything, I'd be open to like adoption.
Sure.
Or you know, helping a kid that's already born and not bringing another one into
Yeah,
this
there's a lot of
world.
babies in the world.
Yeah.
I would like a nice little Asian baby. I think they'd be pretty cute, you know. I think, why not?
Absolutely.
Be a multicultural family and
You know, Kayla one time
adopted an Asian baby?
we were speaking about this, and she was like, I want to adopt a Chinese baby so it can teach me how to speak Chinese. And everybody looked at her like, what did you just say? And she was dead serious. And yeah, they don't know how to talk.
right. I haven't seen she's engaged, right? Isn't she?
She is engaged.
She's getting hitched.
Yeah.
That's another thing. And so I have a couple weddings I have to go to this year. I am perfectly, I think I'd be fine if no one ever invited me to another wedding for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
I've DJ'd enough. I've been to enough. I've paid for enough. I've done it.
Yeah.
I've been through it.
Weddings are fun when it's someone really close to you and you're really excited for them. But if it's someone that you've been friends with and are like kind of more so acquaintances with, it's almost an inconvenience because it's like I don't necessarily want to get drunk tonight, so I don't want to stay at your hotel that you're offering.
Right.
It's like,
and even like they say,
full
you know,
day.
weddings are like the best day of your life. No, they're not.
they're stressful for the people in them.
I had a good time at my wedding, but you know, I think going to Six Flags would be a little more fun.
Sure.
You know?
yeah.
I just don't. There's so much like things that when people are constantly the best day of your life, or the honeymoon phase is over, or this or that. It's just like, shut up.
Yeah.
That's one of the problems. People get offended too much, and people glorify everything way too much. At the same time, it's like weddings are not that special.
Yeah. Actually, one of my really good friends got married last year, and after high school, he kind of went his own separate way and met a lot of people in college. And when I went to this wedding, it was like, yes, I knew him my whole life and was really good friends with him, but everybody else there were these new people that I just didn't agree with at all.
Right.
And so it's like, well, yes, one of my best friends getting married, but at the same time, it's like, I don't really want to be here.
The biggest problem is when like it's a good friend of yours and you don't really necessarily care for the person that they're marrying.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I don't know that I've been through that in a huge sense, but it's just weird.
Yeah.
Or it's like a small
Well, it
wedding.
happens.
It happens, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, people don't like other people or whatever, but it's, I don't know.
I've never experienced a wedding like that so far, but I know some of my friends that I just hope they don't get married to the person that they're with right now.
I think pretty much all my friends are married except for Kiefer.
Yeah.
He might get married someday. He's a little guy.
You never know. We're still questioning him. Can we go back to the poop?
Yeah, you got some poop talk?
Yeah, so I would like to ask you, what's your average poop time?
I was actually just discussing this with Sierra, because Sierra's kind of been working out a little bit more, eating a little healthier, so she's I hope she feels comfortable in me telling the world this. Her bowel movements have been a little more frequent because you change your diet a little bit and things, things going
your
in.
Your body wants to get all the shit that's been in there.
Yeah,
out.
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's why it takes me a while, because sometimes, you get up and leave, but then round 2 comes around in 5 minutes. You got to give that little, just sit on the throne for a couple more minutes. So
sure.
I don't know. When I'm at work and I have to go, I make sure I'm in and out, because that bathroom is disgusting, and you never know who's going to walk in and just make it 10 times worse. These people are, and I don't mean these people in a derogatory stance, but I don't know what it is about public or work bathrooms, but people just fucking destroy them. Mm-hmm. And it is disgusting. There's times where I've desperately had to go. You walk in, I take one sip, I'm like, nope. I would rather shit my pants.
When I was at Ahern, it was like that. I hate it. I mean, I shit just because, I wanted to just get away from everything for a second and just gather
Sometimes
myself.
It's your only break time.
Yes, exactly. But at the same time, it was like, oh man, I'm gonna wipe this seat 4 times before I sit on it and plug my nose the whole time.
Yeah, it's.
But luckily, the job I'm at now, everyone's very clean. It's a new building, and I can enjoy my shits.
What do you do now?
I work in Appleton.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Custom Offsets is an online company.
You were working at Jimmy John's for a little bit.
I was
you?
working.
Freaky Fast.
Yeah.
Did you like working there?
In between. Yeah, I actually loved it.
Really?
I really did. It was enjoyable because I delivered, and I just got to spend a lot of time listening to podcasts.
Right.
And since I was a delivery guy, I guess that's the
delivery boy.
Delivery guy.
He's a sandwich, mister.
Yeah. Since I was that position too, when I wasn't delivering, it wasn't a bunch expected out of me. I wasn't expected to just get on a line and start making subs right away. It was hey, I'll just clean up a little bit, make sure everything's looking good, take some orders on the phone, and then when it's my time to go, I'll go. So it was very relaxed.
Sure.
And it wasn't once you get in here, you have to start doing this immediately. It's no, just get your, throw a
apron
on and start slicing meat or something like that.
I've never worked in a fast food setting, really. I worked in the deli at Walmart a couple times.
Yeah.
Which I actually used to always love going to the deli when I worked at Walmart, because whenever they threw food away, I'd eat it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You're not supposed to do that. But you're throwing it away anyway.
Yeah,
and then mozzarella sticks.
Yeah.
They're still good.
Why not?
It was delicious.
Why would you waste it?
I you'd have to kind of George Costanza it, where you would put it under a napkin, or a napkin under it in the garbage and then eat it.
Yeah.
Don't judge me, but
so it looks like you're throwing it
away. Is it clean then? If you're looking in the garbage and you see some food that hasn't been eaten, but it's on a napkin, but it's in a garbage can, is it still garbage?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I would have to say there has to be a certain amount of covering over it. If it's if you have, say, a sleeve of Bosco sticks, and it's wrapped up and you throw it in the trash real quick. If you're there within maybe like a minute of that happening, maybe you're good. But like if you just have like a donut on a napkin and you just set it on top of a bunch of other garbage, I would probably
I've seen people
probably steer away from that.
I've seen people with like vending machines. The vendor will come in and replace the day-old expired food or whatever, put it in the garbage. And I've seen people just go into the garbage and take it out, and that they eat that on their break.
Yeah,
incredibly disgusting.
Little Caesars used to throw away all their old. I think they've gotten better at managing like how many pizzas they have left over at night. But back in the day, they used to throw away like 10 pizzas at the end of the day. And
really?
And they're in their hot and ready cases. So I mean, they were warm all. The whole time they were made, they were warm. And then they just go straight from there into the dumpster. And I know people that used to take them out of there all the time. I never did, but I'm a little bit I'm too conscious about that stuff.
Little Caesars is a chain, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They're good, hot and ready pizzas.
They're convenient.
I'm a big pizza guy.
I do too.
I like shitty pizza, bad or good pizza. I like it all.
Yeah.
I'll always eat it.
For sure.
But what's life been doing otherwise?
I just been working a lot. I started this job on January 2nd.
All right.
January 2nd. It was right after New Year's. And ever since then, I've really just been putting in the time, a minimum of 50 hours a week. And then it's in Appleton, so I have an hour drive there, hour drive back roughly.
Okay.
And on weekends, I just been trying to hike the pup and relax.
Do you call your dog a fur baby?
No.
I hate that.
Yeah, no.
I hate it when people, my fur baby. It's a fucking dog.
Yeah.
Or a cat.
Yeah.
Did we talk about this last time?
I don't think so.
I talked about, I don't know who I talked about. I just hate fur baby. Like, do you call a fish a scale baby?
Yeah.
You know? Or it's just, and that's like another thing that annoys me. As a parent, I think it is just nuts that my fur baby or this dog is my child. I understand having a close connection with your pet because I've been there. I've had pets and I've had close connections with, and they are part of your family, but it's still a dog or a cat.
Yeah,
I'm not a child.
I mean, I'm really close with my dog. I love him to death.
Right.
But I don't go as far as call him a fur baby or anything like that. I jokingly call him terms, but that's more so just because it's like.
You call him what?
Just certain
terms?
Dog terms.
Like what?
Like I can't even think of, like, what would you, looking at McKenna. Yeah, I I don't know, I just alter his name a lot.
Oh, sure.
Like call him things that aren't his name.
Yeah. I had a cat named Gomez when I was a kid, and he would answer to anything. Like, so I'd call him Gomez, yeah.
Cat?
Gomez the cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would always be like, we would call him like Fatso or whatever, and he'd just come up to you. And stuff like that is fine, but when you are just
like my dog's name is Mowgli, and sometimes I'll call him like Moldy or something like that.
Why Mowgli?
Jungle Book.
You like Jungle Book?
Yeah, growing up.
Did you watch the new Mowgli movie?
I did not watch the new Mowgli movie.
It's all right.
I was waiting for it to come out on DVD, and then I just never have gotten around to it since because
it was a Netflix movie.
Is it?
Yeah.
I know it was in theaters.
Well, they made. Was it?
Yeah, because there was a movie poster. That's how I found out about it. I went to a movie, and right in front of me, the first poster I saw was Mowgli. And I was like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah, they have like the Jungle Book, and then they did Mowgli or whatever. It's all right.
Sure.
It's a different take on it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't remember watching the Jungle Book as a kid.
That would be a really good documentary.
What?
Someone that the story behind someone that jumps into the Grand Canyon into a pile of pillows.
Yeah, I think that would be very good. You can buy those pillows too on TeePublic.
Did you actually get them?
I didn't buy them, but you can.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can buy a Dudes with Brews pillow.
What?
Why not?
That's awesome.
Rest your head on it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, on TeePublic you can get them.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So how does that work? Like,
what do you mean?
If someone buys like a Dudes with Brews pillow, do you get profits on that because it's your...
a little bit.
Okay.
Not too much. Like if people buy a shirt, I make like $2 or $4 depending on what the price is at that time.
Yeah.
I don't control the prices; they do it all for me. But
sure, it's more so for marketing.
Yeah, it's just pretty much just so people can buy it.
Yeah.
And have, I think I've made like profits on it, but it's just from the stuff that I've bought myself.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah, I tried clicking on your link the other day, but it didn't pop up, and I was actually pooping while I was doing that.
Were you?
Yes. 100% at work, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I don't know what was going on, but
Yeah, I take long poops.
do you? Do you take? Sometimes my best thinking I've ever had is
Pooping?
while pooping. Yeah. It's I don't know. I just think it's a good thinking, brainstorming space to be on. So
It is. It's peaceful. And
it's very peaceful.
It's relaxing. Like, you go from something urgent's happening to
The sirens are going off.
I have nothing but time now.
Yeah. Before we continue speaking, we need to talk about our friends at Podcoin, Brent.
Okay.
Do you use Podcoin?
I don't, and the only reason I never downloaded the app is because I was super intrigued when you first said it.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, but then they add ads in?
They don't.
They don't?
No.
Okay, so see, now we cleared up some...
Yeah. So I'll explain it to you right now.
Okay.
Podcoin, an app that pays you to listen to podcasts, Brent, pays you. They offer every podcast ever made, and they pay the listener 1 Podcoin for every 10 minutes worth of listening, and you can use that, rack it over time, and you essentially can buy cool stuff, or you can give it to charity. Give it to charity. If you have a long-term goal, you can increase the Podcoins essentially increase as the more frequently you listen, the more Podcoins you get. So if you're on a 2-day streak, an 8-day streak, whatever, the Podcoin per 10 minutes actually increase. It's pretty cool. You can get Amazon gift cards. You can get Starbucks gift cards. You can get a lot of things. And like I said before, you can essentially just donate it to charity as well. So it's pretty easy, pretty simple, and all the friends and
make
all the
me feel good donating that to charity.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool.
I don't like donating my own money because I work hard for it,
right.
And I mean, like, that's the reason I have a job, is because it's so I have money.
Mm-hmm.
But like things like this make it so much easier to do
That's
something
right.
like that.
And
I just downloaded the app, by the way, as soon as you told me that there was no ads.
And if you can use the promo code Dude Brews, you get 300 Podcoins right away off the bat. So you can download that, or you can get those 300 Podcoins and give a bunch of rice to people, and to help feed like starving people.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
So do it, Podcoin. Download it, son. Woo, woo. So there's that.
Woo.
Yeah.
It's noon here.
It is noon. It's hot in here.
Are there
warm? I'm warm. I'm very warm.
Know what I've never thought about, and I can't say that I've ever noticed it. Is the noon siren, is that common across the U.S. or?
We should find out. If you have a noon siren on Saturdays or one day a week where they test a siren at noon, let us know, and I'll give you a sticker.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've lived here my whole life, and it's completely normal to me, but I don't know. I just have never been around anywhere else enough to notice a noon bell siren.
I don't know that I've experienced it anywhere else either. I don't know. That is a good question, Brent. A good thing to look into. Maybe it's a conspiracy, man. Maybe it's like the town that we live in does this, and it's some sort of like hypnotism mechanism, and now we're trained to never leave and to be really grumpy.
Here's a question.
Okay.
What if a nuclear missile
Yeah.
is heading towards Wisconsin at noon on a Saturday?
I don't know.
Everyone's just going to think it's noon.
Right.
What if a tornado touches down exactly at noon
on a Saturday
in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin on a Saturday?
I mean, I think people might, I don't know. I mean, yeah, you could just think it's real stormy out, but it's just noon. And the tornado wipes it. Yeah, maybe that's what they're probing us for. Our demise.
Yeah.
Are there any conspiracies you're interested in?
When I first learned what a conspiracy was, I was in like maybe like a sophomore or something in high school. And I went down a big YouTube rabbit hole with any conspiracy.
Right.
Just because it was interesting. I was like, oh, I've never thought about the world in this way. And there were some interesting ones like how the pyramids were made and stuff, and like
aliens.
Yeah, for sure. See, but there are certain things that happened so long ago that we can't explain. That's like I really do believe that there could. I'm not saying for sure, but I believe that there could have been a more intelligent.
Oh, for sure.
More intelligent beings on this planet at one time that are no longer here, or they're still here and we just don't notice them, and they're smart enough to not let us know. I totally consider that an option. 100%.
Yeah, for sure. I think, we can't be the only living creatures out in the entire universe. There's no way. And they found us.
And like, we wouldn't be able to build the pyramids today without power tools and equipment. No one knows how. Like,
I don't know either.
The cuts on all those stones were so precise and they fit so well together that it just, the amount of time that it would have taken. And plus, like, you got to realize, like, the inside of a pyramid has like rooms and tunnels and stuff. That's another thing. Like, people they just think of it as a triangle structure, but
it's
like,
the thing.
They also made interior in a way. I mean, it's not like obviously finished inside, but like they made rooms and tunnels. And
there's a guy when my dad lived in Illinois, we would drive to his house or whatever, and there was a guy that had so much money that he made his house like in his property as if it were Egypt. He lived in a pyramid house, and he had like a pharaoh statue and shit, and it was so weird.
That's always interesting when people have that much money that they just ball out on a home that's super unique like that. There was a show, I think it's called, what is that, Interesting or Unique Homes on Netflix.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And this person flew in all the materials for this house onto like this big ledge, and it was all made out of airplane parts, like the house was. And there was like,
oh really?
They used like an airplane wing as like a balcony, and then underneath the airplane wing was rooms, and you could like walk on top of the airplane wing and use it as, like I said, a balcony for like an overview. Overlook.
Would you build a house that's like a toilet if you could?
Yeah,
because you like poop so much.
Yeah, it'd actually be all. The center of it, the bowl part, would be like a rain collector that went into like a groundwater system, and then I could just like have a filter that put that into my faucet.
There you go.
Be very efficient, like a funnel, a rain funnel.
Yeah, I like that. I think if I could,
then I could say God's pissing on us right now, and it'd be more accurate than ever before.
If I could build like a house in the shape and do whatever I want, I would say I would probably make it like a UFO.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet. You ever watch Tiny Houses?
Yeah.
Those people are demented. Why would you want to live in a tiny home like that? I'm sorry if you're like saving up for one or something. You looked into it? You're demented.
Okay, but here's the thing. We don't have kids.
That's true.
We love to travel and adventure.
That's fair enough.
And all I have is a dog.
Well, they have like a lot of people, like some of them just put it on a slab of land.
Hey, what's the invite code on this, by the way?
Dude Brews.
Dude Brews. Okay.
But I've watched episodes where it's not ones that are like on wheels where you can pull it and go places with it. It's on the ground, in the ground.
Yeah. See, that's something if I ever had a tiny home or thought about seriously purchasing a tiny home.
If I was a midget, I'd get a tiny home.
Yeah, that would be actually really convenient. But it would have to be on wheels for me, because I would want to move it. If I'm dedicating myself to a certain state or city or area, then I'm just gonna I'm gonna have the room. I'm gonna be comfortable. I'm gonna have a bathroom that's the size of a tiny home, so I can take nice shits. And
the limited space that I have now, it drives me crazy. I don't think I could do it. I think if you wanted to see me go completely mad and potentially just end the world, you'd put me in a tiny home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever pooped outside?
I don't think so.
I almost had to once.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How was your trip to Montana? Did you, or wherever you went? Utah?
Utah, yeah.
The Mormons? Yeah. Did you get sucked in?
Oh, really? No, I didn't like Utah.
No?
I didn't mind Utah. It's not my thing. It's too strict and weird and odd of a place for me.
Mm-hmm. They had a cool beer, the polygamy porter or whatever
the polygamy
it was.
porter, yeah.
That was pretty funny.
We went to this place called the Copper Onion,
and
it was a really nice restaurant and bar and way overpriced drinks or whatever, but, we were on vacation, so we went there anyways.
Sure.
And it was the strangest experience ever, especially coming from Wisconsin, where you can have like a 5-year-old at the bar with you if you want.
Sure.
Very, very, very strange for me. We walk in, they have to ID us just to sit at the bar, and they have to scan the ID.
Oh man!
And even if you're not drinking, you have to have the ID scanned just to sit at the bar.
Really?
Yep. And so we ordered drinks. We have our name in for a table. We sit at the bar. We ordered our drinks. We're sipping them because they're expensive. And we're like, well, I don't want to have to order another one. And finally our buzzer goes off, which was actually a text message. They're super fancy. They text you when your table's ready.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, McKenna, our table's ready. Let's go up to the
You're
front.
met with like 6 sister wives.
So here's it was nuts. We pick up our drinks just like you would at any other restaurant in Wisconsin from the bar. You
take it there.
We pick up our drinks. We walk to the front, which we're right by the front, but it was basically me getting up off the bar stool with my drink, instantly surrounded by 3 workers, all looking at us like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And me and McKenna look at each other and we're like, "Are we doing anything? Are we doing something wrong? Like, what are they talking about?"
Your drinks.
And they're like, "You can't leave the bar with those." And we're like, "Our buzzer rang. What do you mean?" He's like, "Yeah, you have to leave those here. We'll have someone bring them to your table."
What?
Yes, it was super weird. So we're like, okay. And
I've left restaurants with drinks in my hands. You're not supposed to do that, but I've done it.
Exactly, because they don't care in Wisconsin.
Right.
But here they were like, yeah, we thought you were going to like walk out with them or something. It's like, no, our fucking buzzer rang. Like, we're just trying to go to our table. So we had to leave our drinks at the table or at the bar, go to our table, and then someone had to bring us our drinks. And it was super weird.
That is weird.
Like,
that is
very odd.
It's weird, like, drinking is so ingrained in our culture in Wisconsin. Like, you can bring your kids to a bar.
Yeah.
And they can play pool.
Yeah.
And that is acceptable and normal in a sense. I wouldn't bring my kids into a bar.
Yeah.
But, bar and grill maybe. But, yeah, that's unusual. Fat Joe's is, that's a restaurant. But, that is unusual to have to do that. I don't know that it is normal in any other state though to like have your kids at bars. Probably not.
It's a Utah thing though. Like, they're really strict with alcohol. Like, they don't even sell beer under they all their beer is like under 5%, like under 4% even. I think it's
really?
Like 3 point something.
It's so weird. Like, how
they're really strict drinking laws. You can only buy beer from gas stations. And then if you want any liquor, it has to be bought from like a state-sponsored liquor store. Like, they don't just have liquor stores like we do around here. It has to be like a state-sponsored facility, and they don't sell on Sundays at all.
Minnesota used to do that. You couldn't buy it on Sundays. I think they just got rid of that recently.
Yeah, I would hope so.
But that is a weird thing. Like, you just can't, because it's Sunday. You can't buy beer or whatever.
I don't know if it's like a religion thing or.
We have a
the Lord's Day.
Well, you drink wine at church, don't you?
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
no, that's not wine. That's blood.
Oh,
no, it's the body of Christ.
The blood of Christ.
Yeah, I go to church, but they put wine.
Madison goes to church and they drinks wine.
Yeah.
You've drank in the wine, but you won't drink my beer.
No, I'm not drinking the wine.
Oh,
Just know.
you just know.
Yeah, just know.
We have a bar and gas station not far from here, on 45. On 45, there is a place where it is a bar, and you can go fill her up before you drink and drive home. You know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. No, I've actually been there. I bought bait from there when I went fishing.
It's an interesting concept. Like what a weird business model. It's a convenience store. It's also a bar.
Yeah. Well, I don't like that idea.
I don't either.
You shouldn't
It's not
be
very smart.
drinking alcohol at the same place you're filling up your car.
Right. It's strange, but we have a lot of weird things in Wisconsin when it comes to that kind of. I mean,
But it's normal. Like
for us,
it's 100% normal until we're talking about it in this context
yeah.
and comparing it to some place like Utah. It's normal.
Well, you see all those lists, like the drunkest cities in America. Majority of them are Wisconsin cities,
Oh,
and
yeah.
we're within, an hour of all of them.
Mm-hmm. Madison, Oshkosh is like one of the biggest party
Oshkosh,
schools.
Fond du Lac is on there.
Yeah.
It's on the drunkest cities. Like I don't wear that as like
Pride
as
thing.
like a badge of honor or anything like that. I wish we weren't on the list. We have amazing beer,
Yeah.
and we have I like beer culture, but I don't
Sure.
like drunk culture necessarily. It's different. I think I started drinking at a young age. My dad let me drink when I was like 13,
Mm-hmm.
but I never would get like tanked or anything like that. It was always
You can have
at
one.
home.
Yeah,
I'd
here,
have
you
one.
Can, you can have one.
Yeah. But I was always drinking like Smirnoff Ice because I was a badass.
Yeah.
Be sipping that sweet apple stuff. And
I actually liked the taste of beer when I was young. I would
Did you?
I'd always take a sip out of my dad's and just think about the day where I get to finish a full one myself.
one day,
Yeah.
I'll
And-
be able to have all of this.
Oh man, and when I started drinking, I went hard. But
yeah. I mean,
I'm
come
not
high
as much of
school,
a drinker anymore.
I'm not either. I enjoy beer, and I don't like getting drunk, and I've said that before, but it happens sometimes.
Oh yeah. Whenever I get drunk, it's unintentional most of the time.
Yeah,
it's
just
like
being too social.
Yep, I go out for one or something, and then it's like, I'll buy you another one. I'll buy you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will.
Your dad was always the guy that whenever we were out with like Craig and all them, he was always buying me other ones. I'm just like, okay,
Yeah, my dad was a huge drinker.
It's
and,
on you, Jeff.
And he loved to.
he's a social guy.
Yeah, and I think it was really exciting for him, for all of you guys to be 21 and out at the bars.
I think so.
And
yeah.
so he's like, this is special for me.
I just
I'm
remember
gonna keep you here.
another one.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was a
insist.
very generous man.
Yeah. I miss Jeff.
Yeah, we all do.
He's the first person that had a huge impact when he passed away. That I never experienced it before until that.
Yeah,
And it
a lot
was-
of people did. I don't want to say I was surprised, but it really puts things into perspective how much he touched people's lives.
Well, we
and-
grew up. I mean, yeah, we all obviously you grew up with him. He's your dad.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I saw him all the time. I would stay at your house, and he watched us grow up. And
Oh, yeah.
it's crazy how like your friends' parents, when you're in a tight knit group like we are. I mean, we've kind of over the years
Got busy.
drifted a little bit, but
Yeah. We got busy.
comes with the
It's
territory.
yeah.
But yeah, you spend all the time with them, and it's weird to think about. Like I always say, Ryan's mom is essentially my second mom.
Yeah.
she calls me
Marcy.
her. Yeah, Dawn. She calls me her sixth son.
Yeah.
So it's just I don't know if too many people have that.
Yeah, no, I've only ever had that with one of my friends. I don't know if you've ever met Alex Kondo.
Maybe.
Yeah, I lived with him in Colorado for a little bit and got really close with his family.
Oh,
and,
sure.
And his mom always considered me like another son.
Yeah, and it's like on the flip side, I'm a parent, and I don't want.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really want nothing to do with my kids' friends.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. I hate like when I go to pick Ashton up. I just hate all the small talk that these parents are trying to give me, and I'm like, yo, I just want to get my kid and get out of here. Like call me judgmental, but you see these people, and you kind of can over time when you see them interact with their kid, you see them like kind of how they do things when they're waiting for their kid to pick them up and everything. You get a perception of them, and I'm like, I don't want my kid hanging out with you.
Sure.
Even if your kid's awesome, but if he's around you, I don't want my kid to be around you.
Sure.
And that make me a bad person, but I don't.
No.
I just want Nothing to do with
That's
it.
completely understandable.
It's and then recently the one of the girls' moms gave Sierra their phone number. I'm like, oh no. Like, what do you do? You got to make up like some story. Oh yeah, we do this every weekend. We can't. No other kids are allowed or something like that. You know what I mean? But you want your kids to have friends too, and
Exactly.
I
I
understand.
can see where that would be a little bit stressful.
I understand the frustrations too of having your kids' friends sleep over, because it is annoying.
Yeah. I can only, I mean, I'm just thinking about, because I slept over at a lot of friends'
So did I. So did I.
young. And looking back at that, like if I would have been one of their parents, I would have been like, these kids suck. Like, we did so much stupid shit.
Right.
And very annoying stuff to like a grown adult that's just trying to relax on the weekend.
Right.
And is like, this is their time to just like not listen to anybody. And then they have
all these children in their house, in their home, making noise, creating a ruckus, eating their food, saying they're hungry and they want to go out to eat. I don't know that I never did that to my friends' parents. Like, go, oh, take us out to eat or something. That happened to me, and it really irritated me.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah, I've never done that either.
I'm not gonna like if we're going out to eat, I'll take you, but don't ask me
to go
to bring you out to eat. You're not my kid.
I think the only thing I've ever asked,
I work for my money.
Like I've asked a babysitter once or she brought this on herself though. She one time after school when she picked us up, brought us to McDonald's for some French fries, and ever since I was like, well, I'm gonna expect this now. so every time you pick me up, if you don't get French fries, then I'm not asking for rides anymore, and I'll walk home.
I don't really remember too many of my babysitters, but yeah, I don't know that they ever brought me food or anything like that. I couldn't imagine like bringing more than like one extra kid to the movie theater. With, so my kids and then a couple of their friends. Well, sounds horrible.
And everything's so much more expensive nowadays.
Dude, it's crazy.
Back in the day, you could just add another kid on, and it would be like $5 extra for a movie. But now it's like another kid, especially
like an investment, dude.
Yeah, if they want like another,
if they work 10
if they
hours
want like
of overtime,
a small popcorn with their movie, you're going to be paying like $15 to have another kid come watch a movie.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They don't do like deals anymore. If they do, it's on one day, and it's a very inconvenient day. That you never want to go to a movie on that day.
Yeah, when I became a dad, I was always gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna be the cool dad that our place is gonna be the place to be or whatever. And I'm just like, no, I don't want anything to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
I go find somewhere else.
Go
to
get
be.
hit by a car.
No.
You hit a kid with a car though.
Yep, I did. You were in the car, Madison, when I hit a kid with the car. Don't you remember at the zoo? Long ago. You were pretty little.
I enjoyed that story.
You hit a kid with a car?
Yeah.
Were you like actually hit them with the car?
Your mom was in the car with me when it happened.
Wait, what?
I hit a kid with a car.
Did he die?
Yeah.
Did it?
Really?
No, he didn't.
That's what you tell people though.
Yeah, he's fine. Well, for all I know, I don't know what he's doing now. I haven't followed up.
Yeah.
that was years ago.
Honestly,
8 years ago, probably.
You might have went a little bit out of your way as it was anyways. Seems like he was fine. That was the funny part though, like how...
You hit a kid with a car. I mean, it's...
Yeah, but he ran away after and then...
He just got up.
Yeah.
He just sprung back up.
Please
and
let me know.
Walking away, and I'm like, yo, kid, like, you got to stop.
Yeah.
And, he's okay. He's okay.
So I got my vehicle maintenance today.
Yeah.
And they said 11:30 it'd be done. And they keep calling me, and they left me 2 voicemails already. It was like, yeah, I get it. My car's done. I'll be there. Like, cool.
Yeah. Have you ever lost it on anybody? That was the thing that me and Rob have discussed. And Rob still, till this day, says, I need to just unload on somebody or stand up to somebody. Have you ever done that? Have you ever been inconvenienced and you just had to make a stance?
Yeah, I think I do it quite often around people I'm comfortable around.
Oh, sure.
Like if they do something that makes me mad, I'm like...
Well, yeah, if I'm comfortable with them, I don't have a problem being like...
Or like if I notice, even... Okay, here's the thing. If it's a stranger, they have to do something where I'm like, clearly that was not the way you do that. And I'll be like, hey, buddy, what the are you doing? Like, you really think that's how you should have handled that?
Right.
I'll do that all the time. But
I won't.
It has to be something where I'm like, this clearly is not the way you're supposed to be handling this. But if people are just being somewhat stupid, I'm like, well, you're just stupid. I don't care. I'm not going to get myself involved. But if I see a stranger like really do something uncalled for to another stranger, and I'm right there, I'll be like, I'll say something. I'll be like, are you kidding me? Like, did you really just do that?
Right.
Like, did you really think that was the way you needed to handle that?
Sure.
I'll do that.
So I'm kind of mentally preparing for this, and I don't think my sister will mind that I'm digging into her baggage, I guess. She's going through a divorce. She's going through a hard time, and her soon-to-be ex-mother-in-law is a total biatch.
Yeah.
And very judgmental, very mean person. Blames my sister for her son cheating on my sister and all this. Yeah. It says, like, you know, because of our unconventional family, because my dad's gay and my mom lives with a guy and isn't married or anything, and all this crap, that it's all my sister's fault. Yeah. And so we're going to go to this dance recital for my niece, and they're going to be there, and I'm just kind of developing a speech in my head because I'm sick of it. Yeah. And I don't know what to say, and I don't know if I should say, like, if she says something, I'm definitely going to step in.
Yeah, sure.
I just don't
honestly
know.
Something like that might be needed in a situation like that. I'd feel it out.
What's like the most like passive aggressive like insult you can think of? I don't even know. It's a good one. Listeners, I need some good insults to throw at them. Not too derogatory, because there's gonna be kids around, but I gotta say something if the circumstance calls for it.
Yeah.
This could be my moment, Brent. This could be my time to shine, where Drew breaks out of his shell and makes a grown woman cry.
Yeah, maybe if I had more like context, I'd have some pointers for you. But
I could tell you a lot of things, but
we don't have to talk.
No,
about
we
it
don't
here.
want to. You don't need to. This is a happy, safe spot, and
so
we love everybody.
Exactly. So, on a happy note, how was Bert Kreischer?
Good.
Good.
It was good.
Yeah. Tour bus champ.
He is a tour bus champ. I bought lottery tickets to try to meet him, but I didn't win.
Yeah.
It's a bummer.
Sure.
But he's good. He was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird because I'm so like kind of absorbed into his comedy. I listen to his podcast. I listen to every episode of every other podcast that he's on, because I really like him. And so it's a lot. It was interesting because I was really familiar with a lot of the bits he was doing, but then because I've heard the stories before, but they were different. Like, he really fine-tuned them and tweaked them and added, funnier things and a funnier way to explain it. So yeah, it was funny. I had some good laughs.
That's cool that you were able to see his progression of something.
Right.
Because I listen to a lot of podcasts with comedians on it.
Right.
And they talk about that all the time, like development. Because I'm a fan of comedy, but I'm a fan of the process, because I've always wanted to try to write something comedic.
So have I.
And I have tried to.
Yeah.
And it's really hard because you'll have like an idea, and it'll be like, oh, that's a really good base to start off of, but then it's really hard to mesh things together and like basically like it's really hard to transition into the funny part of it.
It's hard to determine what people think is funny too.
Exactly.
Like, what you think is funny, some people don't. Like, I just think that's crazy. Like, you're taking a really big chance, and obviously you test it at smaller venues, and like you work it out and you try different things to see what makes people laugh. But just the premise of, I'm going to tell this story because I think it's funny, and I think people will laugh.
Yeah, one thing that I think about often when I think about stand-up comedy is, like, if I were to try the first time you're out on stage,
right,
you would have to already know or determine who you want to be as a comedian,
right,
and like what crowd you want to cater to. And I think that'd be hardest, because once you start, you don't necessarily want to restructure yourself completely.
Right.
Like, you have to have some sort of idea of like, what is the crowd I want to appeal to. Yeah.
It's
and I don't even know who I am, so it's like, how am I supposed to like tell other people who I am, And it's like, I don't know. I feel like I'd be a very, I don't know. Like,
I don't think I'm that funny though. That's the thing either. Is like,
that's why you have to write though, because I mean, I used to be funny, and then life happened, and then I got serious.
You're still pretty funny.
You think I am?
Yeah, I think you're funny.
Oh, thanks, Drew.
You see some funny stuff.
I appreciate that.
I think you're always making people laugh.
I am, but that's the thing. It's like I'm really close to those people, and I know what makes them laugh, and I know and I know how to get to them.
Yeah.
But it's like I know that I've done that to other people, and and I just get a look.
Your mom thinks I'm funny.
Nothing more than
I haven't seen Barb in a while.
She's doing good.
I bet she is.
She's seeing a man.
It's unfortunate.
He's got some cash. So
he's got some cash.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
Once they get married, I might watch a couple murder documentaries.
Are they getting married?
I don't know. They're talking about moving in.
Now that's a wedding I'd like to go to. Barb's wedding.
Oh, okay. And if she were to marry this guy that she's with now,
it'd be extravagant.
Yes. Like
all right.
Like
cool.
Wedding of the lifetime.
Your mom is still probably one of the most attractive ladies I've ever met in my entire life.
Well, they say that's where I get my looks from, so.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, Drew. By you calling my mom hot.
Your mom, your mom holds a special place in all of our friends' hearts.
She does, but she was very
and
welcome.
Also in our nether regions.
Yes. She was very welcoming to everybody, and
she's a good lady.
And she understood your guys' sense of humor, and she was never like, "Oh, you guys, like, are you kidding me?" She tried to understand, even if it was
right
odd to her. She'd understand, and she'd actually like develop a way to chime in and play along.
Right,
it's crazy. That's one thing I've noticed that she. I mean, I have friends that are super weird. And I consider myself pretty weird in a lot of aspects, but like when you're around a close friend and there's no one else around and just maybe just like you and your friend, and then your mom's obviously there just because like it's her house. right. And you start saying all this weird shit to each other. And then at first she's probably like, what the fuck are these kids talking about? Is this my kid?
Yeah.
And instead of like being all judgy or whatever and being like, you shouldn't be saying that, she'll like try and match us, like try and get on that level and be like, and like, after a couple of hours of getting used to our sense of humor, she'll like, you can tell that she's been thinking in her head like, how can I join in?
My mom,
and then she'll throw something out there and you'll look at your friend and be like, did she just say that?
My mom, I think now she just expects me to say like kind of outrageous things every once in a while. Like, I say, she just laughs at most of the things I say now, but back when I was younger and I would say stuff, she'd get a little mad sometimes but now I think she's just so like numb to like what weird like vulgar shit is Drew gonna say today or whatever. But I think she enjoys it now. Usually it's because I'm like I'm belittling people we don't like, and I will just like say something. That she just laughs.
Yeah, I've made my mom cry laughing on multiple occasions before.
That's a good feeling.
Yeah, it is. It's really funny, and then it makes me laugh because like I'll say stuff that I don't inherently think is funny, and she'll just like I said, just start crying laughing, and then I'll think about what I said again, and I'll be like, I guess from your point of view, and then I'll start laughing like, I guess I can see why from your point of view that sounds pretty hilarious, but it's like
your mom should come on the podcast here.
She should.
Could share some stories.
She should, and she would.
Yeah,
she should.
I couldn't tell you the last time I saw her. I really don't know. It's been a long time.
I would assume it was probably at Craig's house sometime in the summer.
Yeah.
So few months ago.
Yeah, like almost a year
August
ago.
Or
that makes me sad.
Yeah.
But well, speaking of Barb, I actually have to go to a date with her real quick. So I'm gonna be your new stepdad.
Ooh.
So you're grounded.
Can I call you daddy?
Yes.
Okay, then I'm cool with it.
Thanks for doing this, man. I'm glad we got to do this again.
Yeah.
We drank O'Fallon Wheach, the peach wheat beer. Do you enjoy it, Brent? I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I did. I didn't think any bad qualities were involved with it.
No, I think it's good. I think it's a good casual beer. It's not like a dessert beer.
It wasn't too heavy. I don't
better
know.
Than Leinenkugels.
Are wheat beers typically considered on the heavier side of beers?
No, I don't think so. It's just like wheat. It's just what it's brewed with.
Yeah.
Instead of
because when I think
grains.
wheat, I think as far as like a wheat bread, I think heavy, but
right.
A wheat beer, I think if anything, just gives it a cloudier color.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a light. This was definitely a lighter beer. Heavier beers are stouts, porters,
Yeah,
and that kind of stuff. But this one was good, and
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, if I ever come across it again, which, I mean, let's face it, odds are I'll never drink half of these beers ever again, just because I'm always looking to try different ones.
Exactly, but I typically stay away from flavored beers.
Oh, really?
As far as like if it has a fruity flavor, I typically stay away because I've only ever had bad experiences with fruity beers, and
sometimes it's just overpowering. And this wasn't.
Exactly.
Wasn't.
That's exactly what I was getting at. This is one of the first fruit flavored beers that I was like, wow, it's actually just a hint of it instead of like trying to cater to people who don't like beer at all, and then they just go way overboard on the flavor, and then it's like it just ruins it. It doesn't feel like a mix or taste like a beer, and it also doesn't taste like a wine cooler like they're going for. It's just they get into this weird in between phase of
too
beer
like sugary and too sweet,
and it just tastes like crap.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of like we've never done a Leinenkugel's beer, but like the Berry Weiss, I don't dig it.
I'm not a big Leinenkugel's fan. Actually, honestly, I think that's one of my least favorite companies as a whole. I've tried a lot of their beers, and I've never been a fan of any of them.
They're like the first like real like commercially craft beer, because they used to be a craft beer, and now I wouldn't really consider them that.
No, they're too mainstream. Too like
we knew them before they were cool, and then they sold out.
Yeah,
bunch of posers.
Yeah,
so
fucking
hipsters. Well, Brent, I hope your next bowel movement is great and constructive. Maybe you get something creative out there. McKenna, I hope yours is good too.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye, everybody.
Pew pew audio. Goodbye, everyone.